This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monte Mohr. I'm with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow, log, and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at questions@talkmusiccity.com. That's questions @talkmusiccity.com.
Monty, how are you?
I'm good. I'm great. And I'm fabulous.
Yes.
I got one of my favorite people on. We have one of my favorite people on here. I think one of yours as well.
We love her. Yes, we
do. Olivia Shaffer. So good to see your smile.
Hello. We're excited. I love her so much that I thought she was already on this show.
No, but
I'm
we've
so
been
happy that you're with us today.
Long overdue, Olivia.
For sure.
Olivia, before we get into what makes you as amazing as you are, as far as, you recently had a class on site, a $2 million home here in Franklin, and you had one of the largest groups that our company's ever put together, certainly off site, and everybody was amazed at what you taught them. You were the talk of the town, so to speak, for weeks afterwards. One of our most quiet, reserved agents caught me outside walking to my car a few days later and said, Olivia changed my world. He said, that might have been the most influential class I have ever been in my real estate career.
Wow. So good.
Now, that's pretty amazing. And then he showed me on his phone what you had helped him create. You didn't know you helped him create it.
No.
Because he was part of that class that day. But it was... I was blown away. I said, you did this? And because of that, because of that information that you shared. But before we get into that, I have a conviction that people have to believe the messenger before the message ever matters. And we're going to talk a lot of things. But who's Olivia Shaffer? I understand you're from Illinois, right?
Yes, originally from Southern Illinois, born and raised, not Chicago, very, very Southern. Born and raised there. And then my family decided to make a big life change for us and moved out here in 2019. And, I was like, all right, I'm ready. Let's do it. And followed and got my license because I was actively doing real estate in Southern Illinois. And so I was like, all right, well, let's see what getting a license looks like in Tennessee. And so we did that and became a licensed agent in 2021. I've been working ever since. So
as she has been doing. She works hard.
Yeah. So Olivia, one of the things I think everybody sees about you is this incredible, optimistic smile, personality of yours. You brighten up a room and so forth. I know from experience sometimes, people have to go through stuff in life to help, to build those kind of muscles that it seems like. And we don't know each other that well. I just know that I have never seen you without a smile on your face. You seem like it just exudes from your heart.
She does have the best smile.
She really
so
does.
Sweet.
But seriously, tell us a little more about you. What helps you become who you are? I mean, have you ever had any hardships? Have you ever had any challenges in life, or is just everything's been just rosy?
Oh, no, not all rosy. Definitely some certain things in my life I feel like have just made me value life so much more. I look at life as it's a gift, and every day you should celebrate that gift, and you should go after it like no other. And so I just really enjoy life. I enjoy that all life has to offer, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I think that we're the type of people that even if we're going through a hardship, we can learn from that and we can grow. And if being a happy, bubbly person, which I try to be all the time, I'm very energetic. For anybody who doesn't know me, I'm super energetic. I just like to have fun in life, and I want to look back at my life and be like, I enjoyed it, So that's how I look at life.
That's cool.
That is cool.
That's cool. Well, Carey Ann, can you relate to that? I mean, you seem like you pour everything into life as well.
Yeah, I think we're at different stages too, right? Maybe all three stages here in life. But
all three. And which end of that? All three am I?
But I think as you approach.
I'm a young 71-year-old, by the way.
Yes, totally. And I'm not going to tell you how old I am type of person. Yeah. I'll be, blonde in my box. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Blonde in my box. That sounds like a book.
Yeah, then maybe. Yeah.
Sorry.
But living my best life, I think, is important. But we do go through some ups and downs and challenges. over the last little bit, we've been talking about, storms a brewing, right? What's ahead within the real estate world, and having a positive outlook, I think, is important. But, that doesn't mean that we don't go through the challenges, right? And we can't appreciate the hard work that it takes to get over this challenge or through that storm, et cetera. But having a good outlook. And I also think being so positive is something that is refreshing as well to her clientele. This, depending on if you're working with a first-time home buyer or an investor or anybody in between, this process sometimes is not squeaky clean. Nope. That's not easy. And so helping navigate through that, the ups and downs, and staying positive is key.
Looking at the stuff half full instead of half empty is a huge aspect. And just having that positivity, I feel like, kind of carries on. And I know when I get a smiling face or a happy hello, it just makes my day. So I try to carry that on for everybody else.
Yeah. And I love your caring heart and you wanting to share, even being, because you started this career, how long ago you said?
So I am 5 years in now.
5 years in. That's amazing,
it's
right?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. And to think that we wouldn't say 5 years, even through COVID, I think that pushed everybody up a notch.
I think I got everybody 10 years probably just through that process.
Exactly. We all aged a little bit during that time, right? Because it was just chaotic, and you're trying to create a system, and you're pivoting, and you're doing all the things,
You're pivoting so much, you're feeling like a ballerina. You're just
right.
pivoting. That's all you know. Is every day is a pivot.
Right.
Yep.
Something totally different. Yeah, for sure. And so you being able to share your love and your passion, not to say the younger generation, not to say that there is a line here in the sand over a certain age and under a certain age, but one that is taking, social by storm and utilizing that to make stronger connections with other people, right? And then using that to get a message out that's positive and also that can show homes in a beautiful, outlook, et cetera. Why don't you share more, about your passion with that?
Yes. So I have a huge passion for social media, also just a huge passion for the marketing side of things.
Right.
I'm a very detailed oriented person. And so
Olivia, before we go further, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Because that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There he is. He's taking control.
Hello, no,
Manny.
Monte Mohr is in the house.
No, I'm not trying to take control whatsoever.
A positive control.
But I learned something about Olivia just a little while ago that I had no idea.
I love it. I can't wait to hear.
Okay, because somewhere along the line you were in I understand, a relationship that you couldn't be good enough.
Yes.
Can you share that just for a minute? I'm not trying to, go, to make you feel too far out of comfort here, but I think people need to hear some, because you represent smiling heart with such ease and grace that it's like, well, she never went through anything in life. She doesn't know what I went through, for instance, or this kind of stuff is what some people might think.
Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit more about what has helped you become you.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, no, of course. So I don't talk about it a lot, but I did go through a really rough season in my life where I was in a pretty mentally abusive situation and relationship where my confidence was just torn down to absolutely nothing. I never felt good enough. I never felt like I could strive to be good enough in my job. I never felt whatever I did was just not enough. And so I went constantly walking away from a situation of how could I have done better? How could I have added more value? Or how could I have done this differently or provided more knowledge in a situation? And so I know everybody struggles with something in life, and it really just determines on how we kind of take it on and work with it further in my life. And I feel like that situation definitely made me realize, okay, I need to have more self-confidence in myself, because I don't need to rely on other people to give me that confidence. I need to have that in myself. And so I kind of just put one foot in front of the other and was like, all right, I am going to make something of myself. Nothing's going to be handed to me. And if I can do that with a big smile on my face, that's worth it to me. And so, yeah.
Love that.
In spite of the things that might have been happening at home, you pressed on forward to continue to be your authentic self.
Yes.
And I think it's really important for people to see, because sometimes I think when you meet somebody like you that is so vivacious and such a great smile, and you can just feel your heart, it feels like, when you walk into a room and so forth, somebody might say, well, it's easy for her. She hasn't gone through what I've gone through in life or whatever, and it's, I always look at these things that we go through in life, that it's not just for us, but it's to be there with a helping hand for somebody else that God may bring into our life that may be dealing with something similar, that you can take their hand and say, look, I've been here before. let me help you through that situation.
Exactly.
And I think you have that kind of heart.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely think that time in my life and that season was really hard, and that's why I don't open it up as often. I'm not very vulnerable with it. I probably should be more often, but I do know the people that I have opened up to about it have been like, wow, I never would have known that about you. And now that I do, I have such a different look of you in a certain aspect, and I'm like, okay, well then that was worth having a conversation about it, because if I can help or discuss what I went through to help benefit somebody else, like, it's worth it.
Well, you all automatically, I think, gain another respect for the depth that you really truly have.
Yeah.
To overcome the kind of obstacle that you overcame to be the person that you are today.
Yeah.
I'm excited, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm Uncle Monty here every once in a while, but I'm proud. I'm proud of you. Okay, now.
Yes.
Carey Ann, you were talking about.
No, and I think a lot. Being of your age and being able to see your worthiness, and to see that you can stick the landing no matter what, I think is really important.
Yeah.
It takes some of us many, many years past to be able to do that. And so for everybody that's out there that, I think you relate to a lot of us out there, right? Mm-hmm. And so, do we over exceed, with positivity to offset, some other things? Possibly. But, I will say that being more positive will help another get off the couch, to move them if that is what is needed, to assist the person that doesn't know about social media and help them, move along and break through their fears, I think is a big win. And so I'm just a big cheerleader of yours. So keep it going.
You.
I think that's awesome. And then with that to be said, being able to share your story through social, I think is key, right? There's so many different aspects of it. I'm still fearful. I don't know about you, but I'm still fearful of certain channels, right? Like I was like, I don't even know how to do that, so I'm just not going to do that, right? Or I don't think I can make a connection as strong over here. I'm fine in this lane because I've learned 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I stick to that, type of thing. So share all of the things that you would like.
So for me, social media is definitely an outlet that I get to dive into. That's kind of like my safe space, so to say. And I know social media can be super scary for some people, but for me, it's like, okay, this is my downtime. I'm going to work on my Instagram, work on this, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And the thing with social media is that I feel like people think that you have to do it a certain way, or you have to post at the right time, or post this specific style if you're wanting to go after whatever. But it's not. It's just being authentically you and what you enjoy to put out. Because if it seems like work to you, or it seems like a hassle, you're never going to do it. You're never going to enjoy it. And I realized that really quickly. And I'm a very detailed person. So the first thing I do when I'm going in a house with a client, I'm like looking at all the details, like what kind of cabinets are in here? Do we have crown molding? And like I do that with my social media. So when I do my social media, I'm like focusing on the intricate details, like what kind of music am I putting with this? What kind of message am I sending to my clients? What kind of post do I want to put out today? Or what story do I want to put? Like, okay, I need to be also my authentic self. So if anybody follows my stories, you're going to get a lot of carpool karaoke jam sessions with Olivia. So it's just being fun and authentically you.
Yeah, and I think knowing your audience, right? Totally. I think that's important. I think a lot of real estate agents forget sometimes their audience is other real estate agents, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think we're selling to them. Mm-hmm. Now, for me, I'm a vendor selling to real estate agents. I want you to see the good, the bad, the ugly of me. I think that builds a stronger bond with one. So I'm open to sharing a little bit more, of my life. Consumers don't see that side, as much as the real estate agent. So knowing your audience, I think is step one. And then being true to who you are. I remember years ago when I was her age, I tried to be something I wasn't. We were wearing like these weird suits that were tweed and stuff back in the day. Yeah, all the things. We'd get them at the loft. It was great. Yeah. But then I realized that wasn't me. Now I like my heels still and I like this, but starting to really be you, I think is key. And you do a great job with sharing your personality, through your social.
Thank you.
So one thing I noticed that you do a great job with doing, and I think other real estate agents can take from this, and I was just talking about it earlier, are all of those your listings?
They are not. I love to collaborate with local realtors who have listings that I want to either attract a buyer for, or I feel like my followers would enjoy. So I post my own listings. I post my behind the scenes. I post all this kind of stuff, like the inspections, the appraisals, all the things. But if I have another house that I see that I'm like, oh, I actually would love to see this myself, I then just reach out to the agent and I'm like, listen, I want to come see this because I want to be a market expert. So in case I have a client looking in this area, I can say I've personally walked through this home or this subdivision and I've seen what it is in real life. And so I just reach out to the agent and get a collaboration going. And they're, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, agents are like, yeah, sure, I would love to get some advertisement on my listing.
I love it. Stop, collaborate, and listen there, Monty.
Yeah. Well, one of the people that she's been collaborating with, I know we can talk about Erin Johnston for a minute.
Yes.
I know that she's really made a difference in your life as well. And you guys have really connected at a high level. And tell me some of the things you've learned from her in the short time you guys have been working together.
Love Erin. Love her.
We all do. She's an amazing lady.
She's fantastic. I am really trying to grow my knowledge and wealth in the luxury market. I just got my certification for it. So that's something that I've been really diving deep into because it does take a specific kind of style of the way that you provide a customer service to that, of the expectations on that side. And she knows it. And so she's just such a great role model. I love that she can kind of come in and command a room like a boss woman, but at the same time be so humble about it. And that is such an amazing feature to have in a person. And so I strive to want to be like that. So I love our partnership. She's an absolute blessing to my life. And so I'm super thankful for her. She's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think Connie put that little connection together there. And
she did.
She saw the two of you could be really complementary to one another. And she loves you as well.
Awesome.
You know, it's awesome that you guys can complement one another.
And I think that's a great takeaway. You know, I love the word collaboration, right? I love how you're referencing that. I think agents that maybe just trying to find their space, it is great to reach out, right? I saw another agent do this tour and named it, and it was fabulous. And come to find out, none of those houses were, their so-called listings, but then all of a sudden captured tons of listing opportunities because of the look and feel, of what they shared, on social and or YouTube. Now, do you use YouTube?
I do use YouTube, but I am not in it as much as I want to be. I'm really focusing more on the Instagram because for me, that's my social media platform that I have tapped into the most. I know it the most, and I feel like I get the most amount of feedback from it. YouTube's a great platform. TikTok's a great platform. Facebook and Facebook groups are huge. Just getting on Facebook and creating a random group is huge. You can gain such a huge following from that, from people all over, from just searching like, I want to move to Franklin. And there's all of these groups that come up. And so doing that's super big. But everybody has to find what social media platform works best for them. For me, Instagram has been my outlet.
And so you're being on Instagram. I find that it's not that you're searching for friends. So like on Facebook, right, I have a contract and you're an agent and I asked to be connected. You're not doing that on Instagram, right?
No.
You're just putting out great content that gets ignited through the algorithm, right? And those people out there that are following that same type of look and feel get attracted to your stuff, start to see your stuff, and then they turn their head and then they follow. Is that how that works?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So putting more content out on Instagram is key.
Instagram content is super key, but it's also engagement. People don't realize that you need to engage, whether that's people that you want to start following you need to follow them and engage on their information, their reels, their posts, their stories. You need to engage with them. Also follow similar accounts that you want to kind of mirror, or for instance, for me, like I said, I'm going into the luxury, so like I follow The Grove, I follow all these high-end luxury real estate Instagram accounts, and then I go to their followers and I'm like, okay, who are they following, or who's following them? Like, what are these people? And so going in and getting the connections through that is super huge. And also collaborating and getting in touch with agents all over the US. Like, people don't also realize that Instagram's a great networking system. And I have made connections with agents from Texas, from Washington, from California, Colorado. And it's like, I have made just between Instagram, like, hey, I follow your content. Like, let's chat and let's be referral partners. And like, that's been a huge thing. So it's not just for like, hey, follow me because I want your I want you to follow me and see my content, maybe become a client one day. It's also touching base with, those other realtors who might have someone who's moving this way. Like, it's a great networking system too.
So I love what she just said, which was another nugget to snag. So again, how do you make connections, right? You're lost on how to make connections. So you go to the site that you most likely want to represent, which in the case of the example you're using is the Grove, right? And then you're seeing who's following the Grove, and then you make connections with those people,
exactly.
right? And so then at that point, they are attracted to your content and start to follow you more, et cetera. The age group on Instagram, do you find that it is, because, the Grove is a luxury community, right? Do you find that it is of all age groups?
So in Instagram, after you post a reel or after you post like a collaboration of photos, you have an insight button, and that insight button lets you know where your viewers are coming from, the ages that they're coming from, and also the location that they're coming from.
Wow.
So on the reels, I feel like the reels give you more of an in-depth kind of situation there, and it's a range. I get from 17 up to 70s. Like, it's literally everybody. So there's no specific age group that's focused on Instagram. People think that it's geared towards a younger generation, but it's really not. There's a lot of people that use it as a searching platform. Like, people actually go now and will say, hey, I'm looking for luxury houses in Franklin, and they will search a hashtag. Instagram actually just came out with what's called an AI metadata, and it's in the search bar, and you can now search questions in Instagram, and it will give you content based off of those questions. So it just came out like last week, so it's super huge. We're still playing around with it, but it's a super awesome platform. So Instagram's now trying to become an AI situation, kind of like ChatGPT. So, yeah.
Interesting. So are you connecting your Instagram to Facebook? Again, we're speaking to other real estate agents to try to, make it a little easier for them. And also I'm trying to get scoop for me too. Love you.
Yeah.
So are we connecting our Facebook and our Instagram? Like, are you doing that, or are you putting one on one and one on another?
No, you connect.
You do that.
I do connect. There is in the settings, you can actually syndicate it to go. So as soon as you post on your Instagram, it will syndicate over to your Facebook. Now, I will then go in and tweak my Facebook editing of the caption, because I don't like all the hashtags in there, because Facebook's just a different algorithm.
Yes, there's you can paragraph it and stuff, right?
So I like to paragraph it. I like to break it down. I like to put all of my contact information on there rather than all the hashtags, because it just doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing on Facebook as it would Instagram.
Now I see that, because now I'm thinking back going, why would they give me a long list of hashtags? Now I understand it, because it came from a different place and
it came from
over.
Instagram. So they syndicated it over. But what's great is sometimes Instagram will count the Facebook views also in the views and the connections in the insights of Instagram. So it's great to kind of put it on.
Gotcha.
Both.
And so that's allowing you to kind of fight the algorithm, right? To kind of play it and move up the channel, so-called. So kind of talking through, Instagram was a photography and or video place initially, right?
Instagram originally was only photos. It was trying to kind of mimic Snapchat, instead of having it permanent. So Snapchat's, that filter where you just get something for 24 hours and it goes away.
Instagram, that Snapchat thing.
That Snapchat thing.
Because I don't, but hey, she's talking to us like we know. Well, we know. We know what you're talking about.
Listen,
we'll like this.
You're
absolutely.
nodding.
We know.
You know it. So Instagram was like, well, I want to do, something that's going to be permanent. So it's like a permanent photo album.
Okay.
And so that's what it started. Instagram really didn't start pushing video until after TikTok came out.
Okay.
That's when Instagram posted their reels and was like, all right, I'm going to try to become what TikTok is, because TikTok blew up overnight.
Sure.
And they wanted to kind of tap into that kind of sphere of people as well. And so now Instagram was pushing reels really, really hard, because they wanted to be another version of TikTok.
So with your reels, and again, people that are watching in the real estate world, a lot of your reels are related to different houses, different moments of the home buying process you referenced, right?
Yes.
And how are you making those reels?
So I do everything. People think that I hire it out. I do everything myself. I go.
Before you answer that, I'm sorry, I'd interrupt again. I'm sorry.
It's good.
But I think everybody needs to understand this. When you got done teaching that class for us, that so many people showed up that this, 4,000 or 5,000 square foot home was.
It was so much fun. It was a blast.
It looked like you were having a blast.
Yeah.
One of my first questions to you was, what class did you take to know all that you know about this, Olivia? And you said you were self-taught.
I am.
That's amazing, I think. Don't you think that's amazing, Carey Ann?
Yeah,
She's
absolutely.
Totally
I think that's amazing. Yeah. And I think it probably steps you up, and it's makes the video more authentic. It's not cookie cutter, and everything. So I think that really is a win. And for us to learn from you, I think is also a big win, because not everybody has the ability to hire out an editor and or a videographer. Also, I'll tell you that I have a videographer for some large things, but off the cuff, quick, I need it now, right, does come from me as well. But I will tell you that I'm, again, over a certain age, so I'm old schooling, right? I only know how I know. So that's why I'm asking you, because I only know one way of creating a so-called reel, which is the old school method of creating a video, right? Which I know there's some more modern way, and probably will cut an hour of my life every day.
Yeah, there's so many different editing platforms you can use. Instagram actually has upgraded their editing platform. So if you go into Instagram, you pick the sound that you like, you start uploading your clips, there's actually an edit button where you can adjust to the timing, all that kind of good stuff. There's adjustments with the volume, the speeds. Before Instagram did that release of the updated version that they have now, I wasn't impressed. Sorry, Instagram. I wasn't impressed with their editing system. I was like, I want something that looks like I paid a videographer to come in and do this. And so I found this app called Capcut. Okay. And I love it. I swear by it. If I could blast it everywhere, it is the best editing tool. It's easy, user-friendly. There's a free version, then there's a pro version. But the pro version's like $80 a year, and it's worth every penny. And you can add text. You can add animations, you can do slow speed, fast speed. I mean, anything you can think of that you would think that you would need a giant, computer software system to do, it's at your fingertips on my cell phone. I don't even use a desktop. It's all on my cell phone. Really? Because I take all my videos with my cell phone. So I don't want to have to download it or airdrop it to something to re-edit it. It's all from my cell phone.
I love that. I will tell you, my 11-year-old they do CapCut videos. So I think you're onto something. Wow. I think Aubrey would approve as well. Because she was up here trying to say, Mom, CapCut. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the best. It's the best system, and I love it. And you can use... The thing is, a lot of people also are so scared of video, of like, I have to be in front of the camera or I have to talk. And it really just depends on what you personally feel works for you. So I do a variation on my page. I do some that's just like very intricate details of, like, let's say a kitchen where I'm not in it at all. So let's say I didn't have someone there to help me video. Normally, shout out to my sister-in-law. She's always with me. She comes and she helps me do video, and I coach her. I'm like, all right, I'm going left, go right. And we just have fun. We do that. So if I don't have somebody with me, you can do those little snippet videos of just, hey, let me accent this living room, or let me show the features of this house that I love, or let me just do a whole home tour of just aspects of the house. And then if you feel comfortable enough or confident enough too to jump in it and just like put your face in now and again, you don't even have to talk, just walk in and out of a room, sit on a couch, fluff a pillow. That stuff gets you in front of people to where they see a face and they match it with the name, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember that person.
You're human, right?
You're human.
Yeah, exactly. You're somebody. So I also think just getting out there and doing is key, right? Yes. We can paralyze ourselves with just the thought of tomorrow, my hair will look better, or, my makeup will look different, or this or that, right? At the end of the day, we look the way we look, right? And so just kind of getting out there, I think, is the key. Plus, not everybody sees your stuff. No. So I think we get so scared that so many people are going to see it. Only a certain percentage see it anyways, right? So, but more content out there moves the algorithm, which in general will then help you be seen more, right? Yes. And create more followers.
Yes, and doing like the trending sounds, but also paying attention to the watch time. That's another really, really important thing on your Instagram insights. You can go down at the very bottom and it'll say, what is the average watch time of the viewers that are watching your reel? So if you have a 15-second reel, but your viewers are only watching 5 seconds of it before they're scrolling, you're realizing that their attention span's shorter. So you're like, okay, well, maybe in my next video, I'm just going to do a 5-second video with a caption, and then I'm going to get those viewers to kind of stay longer. So Instagram, the algorithm is constantly changing. And if I could sit here and say, this is what you need to do, it'll change tomorrow. Sure. So sometimes it's trending sounds. Sometimes it's longer videos. Sometimes it's 2-second videos. Other times it's nothing at all. It's just words. And so you just have to pay attention And it's crazy because, like I said, I really pride myself in my marketing and my content I put out. Some of my views or some of my reels will get 500,000 views, and some of my reels will get 500 views. It really just depends on what Instagram's algorithm is wanting to push that day.
So the people that are out there that are a little bit older, we would say we've made it this far without all of this technology, right? We're kind of on the old school process, but there is something to be said with using it as a channel, right? And that channel doesn't really cost us that much money to get the word out in a faster method, right? And so I think the other piece is some people get caught up in the fabulousness of social, where they got all the followings, and that's one way, right? I always kind of talk in the loan business. I was like, we are in the loan business, right? So bring that fabulous now down to a loan opportunity. Do you find that what you've been building over your period of time with social has created more opportunities for you within your business?
Yes. I will have people come up to me now and be like, hey, I saw your reel. Oh my gosh, that house was amazing. Can you tell me a little bit more about that subdivision? So for instance, Sunday I had somebody come up to me at church and was like, hey, I seen you just did a home tour of Rosebrook subdivision in Brentwood. Like, I would love to get more information about it. We're thinking about moving to Brentwood because of my husband's job. So even though I didn't think about, okay, that's what I'm wanting to post, but they were like, I really love this information because now I didn't know Rosebrook was a subdivision, or I didn't know that they were custom houses in there, and let me get some more information about it. So,
right.
Yeah.
Such a smart move. I think, from a lending standpoint, that's probably why I post different aspects of different things, but this type of home and that type of home, because you just never know who is in need of that. And I think social definitely is one that can open up more doors, and it can fill one of the channels for sure. So where do you see your business going with the opportunities that you've created through your social?
Oh my goodness. I'm just hoping up and up. I just love helping people, and I love real estate. And so whatever platform that takes me, whether that's, I get to grow a team one day or not, it really doesn't bother me either way. I'm just excited to get to do what I love. And if social media is a platform that gives me the opportunity to continue to do what I love, helping people buy, sell, relocate, whatever, then that's worth it to me. So
that's great.
Yeah, two things real quickly. One of them is every time I see you come up on my social media feed, I want to watch it because it's fun, it's entertaining. You make it just a fun time. I just want to see somebody with such great energy. The other thing is, Olivia, how does somebody reach you? Because you are really creating some authority in this venue or this topic, of what you do. How does somebody reach you? Because, we do have a class coming up. What is the date on that?
Yes, that's going to be June 6th.
June 6th.
June 6th. We're still working on some details.
If your space is available,
yeah,
we'll
we're
hope
having
to
it in my
have
space.
it
I
at
love it.
CMG.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
And we always try to make sure that all agents know that they're always invited to all of our things. We try to come from a place of abundance, of generosity, rather than, this is just for us kind of thing, And so June 26th.
June 6th.
June 6th, I'm sorry. And
what are we talking that day? What's the topic?
So we're trying to figure out if we're going to do either a full Capcut class, which is going to be all about editing. And if we did that, having it in front of a screen where people can kind of see the mirroring of how an actual editor video works.
Yeah.
That is going to be a huge aspect. And then we're also talking about doing another just on-site, full-on video tour 2.0. So going more into
that'll be
insights.
The third one.
Yeah. Going more into the insights, going more into, angles and the editing and all the good stuff. So.
Love that.
But the second one here, we're going to be doing, how do they get a hold of you? They know how to get a hold of us, but somebody had a question, would you mind answering for them?
Yes, I have my cell phone number is easy. Easy phone call, 618-713-5962. I'm always available to answer anything question-wise, but also if you want to see kind of what that content looks like, to kind of play off of, and please, I'm the type of like, hey, if it works, use it. So if anybody wants to kind of mimic,
I love that about you.
Anybody want to mimic anything that I post, post it out there. Like I literally, it was so funny. One of my past clients, she works for Real Wood Hardwood Flooring in Nashville, and she posted a house that they had just finished, and I messaged her and I said, this style looks very familiar. And she goes, good, because I mimicked your home tour. And I was like, interesting. She goes, I literally used your exact video as a kind of
template.
Yeah, template.
Yeah, I love that.
And she just started laughing. I was like, well, that's what it's for.
So that's the best compliment you can get.
And
When people
so
start mimicking it.
my Instagram is olivia.tnrealtor. So you can go and you can follow, and I encourage the follow, and kind of just see all the stuff in action.
I love that. Again, Olivia, if you want to collaborate with her, because that was what we talked about, I think that's great too. So if you got listings that you want to collaborate with her so she can get it out there, I think that's another bonus for you, because she does have such a great following. Again, can be reached at 618-713-5962. So it's a 618 number.
Yes.
She's still rocking the Illinois number.
I had to keep it. I just couldn't give it up.
It's too big of a fan club in Illinois.
Listen, it's too big. I have over
love it.
1,600 contacts at this point.
I love
I'm like,
it.
that's
I just
too
want to
much
make sure
transfer.
they didn't miss that
Right.
part,
That
because
was a
it
good
was
point.
a
Good call. Good
615
call.
there. So thank you so much.
Thank
Keep
you, Olivia.
smiling.
We're so grateful
Keep
for
making
you.
a difference out there. We are grateful for you. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.